All right, today we're going to look at income in a completely different way. We're not just going to talk about it as a number on a spreadsheet. We're going to explore it as this hidden architecture that really shapes how we think, how we feel, and how we act.
So let's just start with a really simple question. What is income really for? When we talk about it, our minds usually jump to a few very familiar places. We start to wonder, how much am I making? It's the most common metric, right? The first thing we all think of.
Then we start thinking about how fast it's growing. Are we on the right track? Is that number going up? And maybe the most personal one of all, we ask ourselves, is it enough? But what if all of these questions are actually missing the most important function of income?
Because, see, income isn't just a financial metric. It's what we could call psychological infrastructure. I want you to think of it like the foundation of a house. It's the part of your financial life that is constantly, quietly shaping your behavior, your decisions, and yeah, even how well you sleep at night. And this brings us to a really core idea here, the predictability principle. It gets right to the heart of why a steady paycheck feels so profoundly different from, say, a sudden windfall, even if the dollar amounts are exactly the same. Just look at the difference in mindset here. It's night and day. Predictable income lets your mind stop scanning for danger. It dials down that constant feeling of urgency. But with unpredictable income, your mind stays on high alert. Every single expense becomes a decision that just piles on the mental fatigue. One creates a solid floor underneath you. The other just leaves you feeling completely exposed. And this, right here, is the key takeaway. The difference between feeling steady and feeling exposed, it's almost never about being smarter or more disciplined. It's about coverage. It's about having a system that takes care of the basic rhythms of life, which then frees up your mental energy for everything else. This is also why we have to draw a hard line between the idea of income and investment returns. Returns, by their very nature, they fluctuate. They create a ton of noise, and they demand our attention. Income, on the other hand, it reassures. Its real power comes from its repetition, from the simple fact that it shows up again and again and again. And that builds trust, not just in the system, but in yourself. But okay, this idea builds even further because the function of income isn't static at all. Its role actually evolves dramatically depending on the context of your life. You can really see that evolution right here. Early in your career, income gives you stability, right? It makes it less dangerous to go out and explore new opportunities. Then in midlife, it offers continuity through all the unexpected changes. And later on, it provides dignity. And notice how the relief it provides changes too. It goes from preventing fragility when you're just starting out to preventing anxiety by separating your daily life from market swings later on. So once you really start to get this, it can lead to a really fundamental shift in your behavior. Seeing income as infrastructure helps you realize it's not just some supplement to building wealth, it's the very thing that makes that wealth usable. And this is the crucial point. Income is the bridge that connects your wealth to your actual lived experience. Without that bridge, a huge net worth can just feel abstract, like it's not even real. But with that bridge, life feels anchored and solid. And this anchoring leads to a really profound psychological shift. When life's basics are covered by reliable income, you stop asking, can I afford this? Which is a question driven by scarcity. Instead, you get to start asking, does this fit? Which is a question about your values, your identity, your intentions. That is a fundamentally different way to live your life. The outcome of all this is subtle, but it is incredibly powerful. A well-designed income system isn't going to make you rich overnight. What it does is much quieter. It just makes you less reactive to all the market noise, less vigilant about every single dollar, and way less consumed by financial stress. And those benefits, they compound across every other area of your life. And all of this brings us to the final and maybe the most overlooked benefit of building this kind of infrastructure into your financial life, the actual value of pure relaxation. So, if there is one single idea to take away from this entire explainer, it is this. Income is not just money coming in. It is the fundamental structure that gives the rest of your financial life, your investments, your long-term plans, all your goals, it gives them permission to relax. And let's be really clear here that relaxation is not an indulgence. It's not a luxury. It's the critical ingredient that allows your best judgment to actually work. It creates the mental space you need for clear, long-term thinking, and that, right there, is the true foundation of financial well-being. And that might just be the most valuable return of all.